Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the World Championship Racing Grand Prix here in Belgium. I'm Ben Raggy McConnell, and joining me on the castle desk is the legendary Jamie M. Castle Elder. How are you doing?
Not too sure, man. How are you?
I am not too shabby indeed. I mean, look at the track. It's Belgium. It's a great track. You've got the huge Camel Straight with obviously Eau Rouge right down being one of the most famous corners to have ever existed in any racetrack ever, to be truthfully honest. Also, the uphill little turn there, which for me, whenever I've gone up it, especially in wet conditions, has killed me so many times. I struggle on that corner, and these guys are going to have to do it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with that even in the dry, so I should tell you. But yeah, that corner becomes so crucial in the battle in the DRS section because basically once you get to the top of Radian, DRS comes open almost immediately. Not a long section after DRS open, and then you're trying to defend, and it's so hard. So coming off that corner, you've got to hope you get the best drive you can, and hopefully the guy behind you has a little wobble going over the curbs, and that's pretty much the only way you can defend. We're going to see, most likely, we saw it in the official esports, people trying to give up the DRS on the final lap, or give up the lead even. It's a huge risk to do. I hate seeing it, but I fully expect we will see some of that here today. And hopefully we'll actually see something because we're still waiting for zones.
We are indeed. But the one thing you can almost... Oh, there he goes, gone. So he'll be back. I think we're going to be straight underway with this then. But yeah, I was just about to talk about... Oh, that doesn't look too promising, does it? There's two.
They're both in here, so that's...
Oh, it might be all right.
Could reach on.
No.
No, Beaker's gone. Right, where's the elevator music?
We could actually talk about the track a little bit, I think, to be honest, because there is a fair bit we can actually talk about here. This track is huge, right? In terms of lap times, it's one of the longest lap times on any circuit, I think. I think it actually might be the longest lap time. I don't think there's any other track I could think of that actually beats it in terms of lap time.
In terms of lap time or distance? What would you like to know the answer
lap
to?
time.
Lap time. Well, I will look up the answer to that. Longest lap.
I'm trying to think. In fact, I'm going to quickly go to have a look at it in the time.
I think it's trials. Close to.
So Australia's a 120 if you're slow, like me. Bahrain's a 127.
Official lap record. Here we go. This is the place to look, isn't it? This sounds the right sort of thing. So, okay, fastest laps. Albert Park's quickest, then Bahrain, Singapore, Baku, Barcelona or Spain, should we say? Monaco.
Wait,
Canada.
How? That doesn't sound right.
What? Oh, wait, hang on. No, why is that going that way? What
Monaco is like a 107.
Sorry, no, this is the... No, ignore me. This is the order of the races. Okay. I thought they'd arranged it nice and neatly for me. I'd just read it straight off. That would be me hoping for something easy, but it's not as easy as it looks. So hang on, let me just get into the lobby first of all, and we can then start rattling off random numbers. So let's look at 140. So Baku's a 140. These are lap records in races for the F1. Singapore, Spa's 141, so second slower. Singapore, might as well mention, 136, and a 134 for the As Marina circuit. So yeah, it is in terms of lap record. Yeah, in the race that is. That's a race lap record.
I think Singapore's the longest track in terms of distance, isn't it? Is that right?
Oh, you're asking me another question now. Hang on.
I'm just trying to think because Singapore is a huge track. But
well, that's fine.
That don't make sense. Are we sure that that's right?
I'm sure that's right, according to this anyway. Well, I mean, if you want to go for the longest, then there's the 16-mile track.
I mean, the longest that's currently in F1.
Right, let's have a look.
I'm pretty sure Spa has to be the longest track as well. Then, if it's I mean, think about the track. You are very, very on the throttle for majority of the lap, right? And it's also the longest lap time, so surely it's got to be the longest distance.
Well, if only it added up like that, and it's as simple as that.
I think it does, if I'm honest.
I'm currently on Wikipedia, so bear with me. We'll try and get you an answer. Circuits, there we go. Last length used, so that's Adelaide, Morocco. Basically,
Definitely have it.
why could it not just list current? That'd be too easy, wouldn't it? Right, let's have a look. Why is Siri woken up? So Mexico is 2.6. I'm just rattling through these now. 2.6 also for Brazil. Monza, a 3.6 on the nose, actually. It's interesting. These are miles for some people.
Apparently, Spa is
Bahrain,
7 kilometers long.
yeah, I can vouch for that. Baku, 6. Okay.
Are we talking kilometers? Yeah.
Yep. Spa, yep. 7. 5.5 for the Circuit of Americas. Paul Ricard's 5.8k. Hockenheim, 4.5. That's pretty short.
What's
Yas Marina.
Russia? That might be long.
Yas Marina is only 5k. That's tiny.
It feels like it's really long.
That's because there's a lot of twisty corners, isn't there? But there's a good
Yeah.
few long straights to compensate for that. Red Bull Ring, that's tiny. It's not even worth mentioning. Oh, and the thing's no, it's close. Yas Marina, that's 5.5. Suzuka,
Where does Russia
5.8.
fall into that?
That's 5.8. It's just a bit longer than Suzuka.
So Spa is way longer then.
Yeah, I mean most of them.
There's
You're
no
looking
other
at
track nearby.
most of them are in the 3.5, 3.6 range, so 5.5k ish sort of area. I mean, Silverstone, Russia, and Suzuka are all about the same length, at about 5.8k, varying between 100 meters between them. Basically, that's how close they are. Red Bull Ring is tiny, as I say, but yeah, so 7k is significantly longer.
Yeah.
It's a
So I
whole
mean, the
k
lap
longer.
times are huge. The track is huge. And this is the one that we spot every time we get into any sort of wet weather conditions, where we see the people who make the either the early pit stop or the late pit stop when it comes to changing from tire compound, as in going from dry to wet or wet to dry, whatever. They lose so much time if they call it early or late. Like, you have to get it so on the nose, otherwise you lose out. And
Yeah,
because of the way the F1 is, there's almost always somebody, or at least majority of people, that lose out. There's only very few people that actually really make it work. I mean, at Nick Turn, I believe he's just gone out now. Yes, he has. But this track does promote one major thing, and it's as similar as it is in Italy, but this track actually has it benefiting throughout the Camel Straight and even a few other areas. Copy and at Nickturn will give each other the toe, almost guaranteed. We've seen it multiple times already in this game, in other leagues, but, you know, they will definitely pull it off here.
well, yeah, I mean, the two you're going to be looking at firmly to do something like that. And it's going to work out potentially as long as the guy in front doesn't make a mistake. If the guy makes a mistake coming off Radian, then the guy behind has messed up his lap. He's hoped for all that, and just one mistake can really cost you. Hopefully, we're not going to see it from these two, but. And yeah, so they are starting to come out the grid. Out on the track, sorry. All on softs.
Except one, Frankie Pie, on hards, but he's not yet out.
Though.
He's just thinking about it. He might come out on the hards, and I won't blame him, to be honest. I mean, the soft-medium strategy is doable here. The tyres do wear out a fair bit, but you can still pull it off. But I want to ask you, MCAS, before we see lap times come in, I want to hear your 1, 2, 3 prediction.
I hate your 1, 2, 3 predictions.
Yeah, I know.
Right. Well, let's run down, as always, let's run down what we've got here today. Beaker, he loves this track, I think, but he doesn't love the wall.
You mention it every time we come to this track. I mean, it was a huge crash, but every time we come to this track, you always mention it.
Well, it's because I don't often see a puncher on the final lap or towards the end. Even just the punches are quite rare, but to DNF because of it, it's severe. He was going about 150, 180 at the time, somewhere in that sort of range. But I keep my eyes. Entertain's going to be quick. Bird's going to be quick. Euless he's an F2 driver for Sunday League. He could be quick. Lemon, again, always brings something. Camille's had a really good start.
Oh, we're about to see it. We're about to see it.
Copy and Nixon as well. Look at that.
They've done this. They've rehearsed this so many times. In fact, last time I saw this, the person who was leading the battle, if you like, actually decided to just completely cut Eau Rouge and just allow the toe again. But look, they have rehearsed this so well. That'll gain you a fair few tens. That's insane.
Right, Enterton, Camille, Lemon.
I've not seen Camille drive. Is he good?
You saw him last week. He won the race.
I've not seen Camille do anything more than win races, so he's good.
And he raced the week before. He came second.
I don't think I was there for that one. I might have been asleep. Nixon, though, I do think you're right. I think he will take pole. He is insanely quick. But I think Lemon might actually be the next quickest, at least. So I think I'm going to give Lemon the benefit of the doubt. I think he is a P2 driver today. But based on your recommendation, I'm going to go Camille P3. I think Camille might be able to gain when it comes to race pace, but I guess we'll see.
Well, we've got the same 3, so if one of them misses, then we've both lost.
Yeah.
But
I mean, realistically, who else did? I mean, Zones, I suppose. We've probably massively overlooked Zones, but we've seen Zones do well in qualies in the past. We've seen Zones do well in races in the past. Have we seen Zones really sort of like just smash everyone out of the park? I don't think we have.
Yeah, we have. But your memory's not very good.
Not quite.
Frankie Pie, he was the other one I was thinking about, but he had a really good race on his first race here. I think I might have overly hyped him, and what if someone crashed?
Frankie Pie just lost it in Puon.
Let's not talk about him anymore.
He's on hards, in fairness. No. He just completely lost the car through Puon. He just... Tyres obviously don't have the temperature yet, and he tried to chuck the car in. He looked like he just got a bit out of shape in the entry to it, and that was it. His car just completely took off.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we maybe heavily underestimated Zones.
Well, he's just gone purple in the... We had gone purple in the second and third sectors. He's now not purple in the second sector. Camille's on his way. Copy's gone purple in the first sector. Obviously getting a little bit of tow from his teammate. And we'll see what happens. I'm on board with Camille. He's coming up to the chicane. Bus stop chicane, I call it. It's not really the bus stop chicane anymore, but I'm calling it that. That's what I'm sticking with.
You're old, so it's okay.
Yep. I'm older than most people in this league, I think.
I think... Yeah, Brownie's not here, is he? No.
No, he's younger than me anyway.
Oh, is he? I thought he was older. Everyone calls him Grandpa.
Yeah, but that's because that's what you said
so young.
when he qualified for the esports, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that was a big lockup from Gaxi. That was
Copy.
Uncharacteristic.
Copy purple sector 1, so keep an eye on his jump. Camille's jump to P2. And we'll see what Copy can do. Come out two-set bus stop.
Yeah, this one here, you got to watch out on the right side. If you clip that corner too much, you'll get an insta penalty. I mean, obviously in qualifying it'll just be an invalidated lap, but in the race you will get an insta penalty, and it will kill you. But 142.897 is Copy's best time. Not that far away from P3, even P2 to be honest, but still almost 4 tenths clear. It is 4 tenths clear. No, it isn't. 3 tenths clear. Can't count. He's 3 tenths clear of his teammate. Oh, that's not good.
He's obviously had an incident because he's on his way into the pit lane and he has been straight disqualified. No messing. And I was looking at him to be potentially up front, but that is big. Has he got nose damage? Blue's out as well.
What's going on? The feng shui of the race has just been completely affected. We've lost 2 drivers, one to a disqualification, one to a retirement.
Oh! I've just seen Blue's wreckage.
Where is it?
It reminds me of... Was it Giovinazzi at the end of the race this year? Just went straight on at Puon. Not Puon, Blanchimont. That is a hefty crash.
I wonder how he did that, though. Yeah, I was going to say, how?
It's almost like he just lost the wheel and kept going straight. Frankie Pie's on a lap again. I'm keeping an eye on him because he's the only man that's actually doing a lap at the moment.
Yeah, he's not had a particularly good run. I mean, I also saw Eulis make a mistake as well coming out of P1. He was completely parked on the side of the track and almost got run into by, I can't remember who it was now. I think it was Lemon. He was pretty close. And Frankie Pie is making his own lines.
Yeah, well, interesting fact here for you. Fastest sectors, not from Frankie Pie. Fastest sectors, Eglinton has none. He's got no fastest sectors. Everyone else has got, of the top 4, have got 1 each. He hasn't got any of the purple sectors anymore, but yet his time was so quick, it's still first.
So I've heard what happened to Blue. So apparently, Blue was too busy laughing at the situation about Bird's disqualification that he crashed as a result.
He forgot to turn.
How do you do that?
Well, you're laughing a lot, and you
Really?
don't look.
You just giggle, you know? You're just having a little bit of a Tim Bath.
Well, quite often when you laugh, you close your eyes, don't you? Just in pure hysterics, you throw your head back and close your eyes. And maybe he did that on a straight. He was in such stitches that it caused him then to crash and possibly require stitches. His car's definitely going to require some stitches after that anyway. But on the bright side, he won't be last. He'll have Bird for company.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, Bird will be last no matter what, just purely on that disqualification, which is sad. But I've actually just realised we've not done a lap rundown.
We've not.
Do I pick a driver?
Well, Ray's come to the end. And goes second, so who should we go for?
Zones is not that far away, and he's actually probably someone you could watch to get a solid lap time in if you want to watch him.
Solid lap time. I'm just seeing who's sort of coming towards the end. The next closest. Let's actually go for Lemon. We're predicting him to do well. Let's see if he does well. He's got a fair bit of track left to go. He's just in the final sector at the moment. And we'll see how he gets on in a moment. I hate that corner 15.
Which one? The one
with the wall,
the infamous Beaker corner?
It's after the Beaker corner. That's straight. That's where he went off. But the corner 15 is the one where the wall sticks out. So, here we go, Lemon coming towards the chicane, getting himself set for this lap, revving it nice and loud to get that extra heat. I thought he was going in the pits.
That'd have been heartbreaking.
Right, anyway, home straight, DRS wide open. This is one of the shortest runs from the start-finish line down to the first corner towards La Source. Tight right-hander. You'll probably see go 3 wide on the first lap through there. On the exit, get that power down as early as you can. So important now. DRS detection point is around about here somewhere. I think it's that line, actually. And then we go left, right, and left through Eau Rouge and Radian on towards the Kemmel Straight. Little kink here. Not really a corner. Some track numbers have it as a corner, but we're discounting it up towards Lecombe. The right-left chicane at the end of the Kemmel Straight. Tight braking. Lots of battling going into this corner. And they probably won't even be finished at this part as we go through turn 7 downhill towards the long right-hander of Rivage. And this is just a long, it just keeps going and going and going. It's downhill as well. And then throw it back over to the right. Don't go too far on the exit here of turn 9. This wall is mighty close. Up towards the poo on the double left-hander. A little bit straight in the middle. And hopefully he's not going to lose the back end as we've seen already today. And he does it nice and neatly. Curbs on the inside, so it can be quite treacherous. Towards turn 13 and 40 now. The right, left then of Campus. Towards Stavlo, the right-hander. Coming up here. And it's sort of a double, but with a straight in between. A little bit of straight anyway. And this is then the exit of the corner we're just talking about. That wall just on the left there. Nasty. As we go up towards Blanchimont now. Towards turn 16 and 17 coming up for you in a moment. Hopefully you won't go straight on into the wall loaded. And then just 2 corners left. The bus stop chicane. The chicane. Whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it bus stop chicane because I'm old. 18 and 19. And then power down. Keep to the right for the shortest point towards the line. And hopefully you're going to do well. Yeah. That's the thing about describe that.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Turn's lap time is insane. Whilst we were watching that on board, we actually saw Nick Turn put in a faster lap time. 1:42, 1:57. He's 6/10 clear of Ray in P2. That's just a huge jump. Now, don't get me wrong. It's probably mainly down to the tow that he's been getting from his teammate.
It's not.
The copy's currently going for it right now. So, yeah, they kind of got a tow if he's...
No, it's not. I've got his sector times. His first sector was slower than his previous best and wasn't even purple. His final 2 sectors, though, were purple sectors. As Camille doesn't put a lap when he comes into the pit, so he's obviously made a mistake on that lap.
Oh, copy.
And yeah, copy. P3 for him. Who else is out on a lap? Euless is down the bottom. Frankie Pie as well. Euless is coming out towards the end. A little bit of justry going on there for the Williams man. Hopefully that's not going to affect his time too much. And coming up to the line now, what's he going to set?
1:538. So, yeah, not bad.
No.
Expect more, but that's an outlap anyway. He's now an
No,
outlap.
it wasn't. That was a fly lap. I think his lag's getting to him here.
They're showing 0 laps on the left.
Yeah, it wasn't an outlap. I don't believe it was an outlap anyway.
So the other thing to spot is if you look at P5 and 6, they are a thousandth of a second separated. They're two of the quickest drivers. We actually put Lemon in the top 3, and in a minute we look like we've put the wrong Mercedes driver there. It looks like we should have gone with Ray, but on top of that, we put Camille P3. Yeah, we got 4.5 minutes left of the session, but Copy's currently just smashing it.
Yeah, he's had a great lap. Helped obviously by the toe. He got down the Camel Straight. And just on board Euler still. He's gesturing. I think he's going to have some connection issues.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they asked him to step out of this race because he's all over the place. Just watch him. He's just gesturing, scooting about. And it's quite difficult to work out what's going on. If you look at his time, that time is a ridiculous time because he's just coming towards the end of sector 2 and that time isn't correct.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what's going on.
I've seen rubber bands with less elastic than that, but we'll see if he can fix that. 1 lap in. Yeah, now it's actually showing the 1 lap, interestingly enough. But 143, 136 is where he's now sat. Schwalbe is in P11. He's only a little bit improved, 700ths of a second. He's ground a bit deep there. That's not actually going to affect him too much considering the way he just took exit there. He's looking a little bit more comfortable than before on the limit there, but P1. This is actually crucial because you can't actually take this without really braking. I mean, he just tapped it, downshifted, lost the rear a little bit. He's going to lost a fair bit of time there. That wouldn't have helped him at all. But again, brake around about here, get yourself down to gear 5, gear 4 if you feel like you're just stepping out a bit too far, but he's not looking too clean on this lap, I'm going to be honest.
No, come up and see a end of sector 2 time in a moment. He's up a little bit, but he should be up a little bit more than that. He has gone personal best in both sectors, so keep an eye on it and see what we can do. Hopefully, for his sake, he's going to get another personal best, and considering how close they are ahead of him, he should move up a few places here. Final couple of corners for him. Sorry?
Mikasa. It's that time, mate.
Not yet.
Well, it's passed.
It's happened. It's gone. You've missed it.
It's been... The moment's passed. But the majority of the drivers are now on their way back out now after they were just prepping themselves. Think about that final push. Think about what tyres they want to start the actual Grand Prix on. And for the majority, it's softs all around. I mean, the only person who's done anything other than that is Frankie Pie, who obviously went on the hards initially, and then he's gone on the mediums and tried to do it a lap time. He's not far off, though. He's not far off at all. He's about half a second away, a bit more than that, a bit over half a second in order to get himself into the top 10. But you may as well go for the softs, try and put yourself as close to the rest of the pack as well, and match them on the strategy. And yeah, you think, okay, it could work out if I try a different strategy, but who knows?
Just got baited there by Camilla, just drove straight through Euless. I didn't realise Euless was going to ghost, and I thought Camilla just made a huge mistake, and that could have been Curtis, but it's not. He's fine, he's going, and Ettington is going as well. Where is Copy?
Pits.
Where is Copy? There he goes.
On his way out.
Look at that timing. He's not going to get a lap in, though. Copy's taken the hit for the team here to try and get Ettington. I don't think this was even needed, honestly. Look at the difference.
No. It should have been the other way around.
Yeah.
Honestly, it should have been the other way around. If Copy had got the toe, he may have actually been able to get the 1-2, and that'd have been really good showing for him. But Nickton is just going to assert dominance on the track. He's already got a 6/10th lead on the guy in P2, which is Ray currently. Although I think he's also worried that Ray could get faster.
Is he going to get into the 41s?
Yeah, realistically is. 141.9. I think it's going to be a 141 low 9, if I'm honest.
Low 9.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you he's gone slower in the first sector than he has previously, so...
By a lot or a little bit? Oh, never mind, he's done it. It's over. It's over.
Is he invalidated?
He's just completely fluffed that entire lap.
Fair enough. But then you're wrong, Craig.
We're both wrong.
I never said he was.
Oh, Camille, that was a big wobble. Now he's going to be keeping it together just a little bit in the lead up towards Puan, trying to recover the damage lost there. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to do that. Tyres will be a little bit warmer. He's round wide, that's got to be invalidated.
I think he already has invalidated. I'm trying to look at his times. I don't know. I can't tell. But
so we very much sort of overestimated Camille. Oh, we lost at Nick 10. That's not good.
I think he's just restarting because he's got time. There you go.
That was fast.
He didn't need to put a lap in. He just went for it. He's probably had that spare invite. Wanted to restart his game or the lobby. Maybe it was Ulysses' desync for him that he wanted to get going. But Camille then final corner. Where's the zones? He's on his way as well. Is Camille going to get to where we want him to be? I think the answer to this is no. The answer to that is definitely no.
He was only actually second off of his time, which he probably lost that doing that pirouette. But the zone's coming up to it now in the final couple of corners, looking very quick indeed. This might be the P3, P2 time because they're really close in general anyway, and it is not an improvement. It's actually slower by quite a margin, 3 and a bit tenths. That's not good.
Camille invalidated sector 2, I believe. So he was never going to beat it. But Boltzan on his way, coming up to the bus stop chicane. Lemon is on his way as well, but a bit further back. Can Boltzan have any say? He's gone personal best in the first 2 sectors.
Oh,
right.
Look at that. He's really broke that gap down a fair bit there. So good stuff from him. Frankie Pie a bit further back, whereas Danny's coming through the final few corners. Little sprint to the line. Is it going to be quick enough to get him a bit further upfield? It isn't. He's also having network issues. He's actually a half a second down. I think that is due to network. But that's Stefanit's crossing the line as well right behind. Dennis is there, P13. You got Frankie Pie coming up to the line.
This should be a jump. Considering it was on softs earlier. And it is not really a jump. Okay. I kind of overhyped that one. And Lemon drifts across the line going slow to not count, I think.
Well, and Nickton then taking pole position by a good margin. His teammate not that far behind. I think it was P4 in the end, if I remember correctly. Yeah, look at that, nailed it. So Nickton on pole, 142, 157. So a good margin between him and Bulksan. 4 tenths is the gap currently for Bulksan to be in P2. Ray there in P3, copy in P4 with Camille in P5. Quite uncharacteristic, but still an opportunity for him to improve when we come into the race, because that's where it all matters. Is in the actual race. Sons in P6, Lemon in P7, Stefanator in P8, Schwalbe in P9, and Euless, with a fair bit of network issues, is sat there in P10, with Beaker in prime position, realistically, in best of the rest, actually has the opportunity for, but he has an opportunity to really take off in the strategy side of things.
Well, we'll see how that works out for him. Let's say if this turns to rain, this is all change, and it is...
Dry. I don't know. Yeah, dry.
It is. It's very dry. Sunny. Sunny blue skies.
Sunny blue skies and drivers on the track prepping themselves for the beginning of this race. Now, the tyres are obviously locked in for those in the top 10. Those outside the top 10, like Beaker, for example, is in P11 and in prime position, will have the opportunity to choose what tyre they want to start the race on. Now, again, like you said earlier, it depends on if there's rain or not. So if there isn't any rain, you can almost guarantee the majority of them will be going for hards. You may see some go for the mediums, and you may even see some go for the softs, just to try and pull off a similar strategy to those at the front. Mediums to softs is a very easy strategy. Sorry, hards to softs is really easy to pull off in terms of strategy, but ideally, if you can pull it off, you want to bring the mediums into that mix and just try and take off. I'm Casa, though.
Sorry? Oh, sorry. I think you just said...
There was a breath. There was a breath. The reason there was a breath was because... Obviously, I'm going to ask you the usual question. It'd be uncharacteristic for me to not ask you the usual question. But I was just having a little breath there because I'm thinking, I don't know if I would leave the top 3 as they are. I mean, I'm almost certain Ray's going to have issues. But I'm almost certain Nickton will have issues. Penalty-wise.
No, because Nickton's going to win this from Camille then Boxen.
Do you think Camille's taking P2?
Yes.
Okay.
He made a little mistake in the qualifying on his final lap. I think he would have been P2 or 3 on the grid if he hadn't made those mistakes. And that's why I do think he will get there. He has got a good race pace. Copy, looking at him going, we have so many goes in him, but he does such a great job week in, week out. It feels bad for him. Going, Ray has, I want to say Ray has reliability issues.
Consistency as well, I think, is another problem he's got. He's good, and I would never take that away from him. He's definitely faster than me. There's no question on that respect. It's just purely he seems to use time trial setups, or at least that's the impression we get from the way that he drives. He just drives as fast and as hard as he can 110% of the time, and it causes him to have consistency issues and penalties, and then in majority of the cases DNFs.
Yeah, I mean, he does hold a few world records on some tracks, but that's time trials, and time trial is not a race at the end of the day.
Nope.
And if he then brings the time trial setup to a race, he's going to realise his tyres can't last. And yeah, that's when he's going to start to have some sliding issues. And this pit lane is not forgiving the entry.
Nah.
We don't often talk about pit lane entries as not being forgiving, but bear in mind when you come around the final call, you can't really see it. It's that tight and that narrow that one mistake could cost you a race. And I think that's what happened to Bird. He made a mistake going into the pits and got disqualified as a result. And that's what could happen if you make a mistake going into the pits. You could end up getting disqualified.
I need to do my 1, 2, 3 very quickly before we get in this. I actually think Bullockstown will win this due to Nick Turner's penalties. And then I think it will be Zones that takes P3. But we'll have to wait and see. It might even be Copy, but we'll have to wait. This is all we can do as all the drivers are on the track. The lights are on, and when they disappear, we'll be getting underway with the Belgium Grand Prix. And it's going to be a dash to turn 1, remember, because this is the crucial corner. Lights out, and the Belgium Grand Prix is underway. We've got a Mercedes that's falling down the order. That's Ray. He's lost out massively there. He's just not moving off the grid. He's immediately gone into turn 1. Has that Nick Turner. He's managed to hold on to pole position. Sorry, race lead, should I say. Camille up now in a P4. Zone's on the back of him, trying his best to attack where he can. Schwabe is on the back of Frankie Pie as well. And ultimately, oh, no, that's Dennis. He's had a big off there. He's going up on Rouge Radion. He's got wing damage on the right side, but he somehow kept his car alive. He's going to be on the racing line, though, so we need to keep an eye out as Ray's coming up along past him. So he is now at the back of the grid, but that was disaster for Dennis.
Disaster well for Ray. I don't know what happened there. He just didn't move off the grid. And as such, he's dropped from second to last. He's not had the start he wanted. Zones are looking to size up Camille. Is he going to get squeezy? No. Just a little nudge, and a little nudge again. Is he through? He is. So Camille's just lost place to Zones. Zones gives the wall a little kiss. And we've got Yost in second one. Is that Bird having an issue?
I just had a look. He looks okay. I don't know if he's got wing damage or anything, but he looks okay as it stands. Is that maybe potentially Dennis? No, Dennis is still there. Still relatively close enough to those ahead. Frankie Pie on the back of Lemon. Lemon's really sort of hunting down Camille. Zone's actually managed to pass Camille, and he's already looking towards Copy.
Yeah, just look at Frankie Pie. He's up 5 places on this open lap. 4 places as well for Blue. So they've had absolutely
oh no, Schwabe, that was a huge crash. I wasn't even paying attention entirely, but that is a massive crash there on that wall on the left. Yeah, honestly, I was looking in the distance, looking at the times, and I just see this Red Bull just explode into the wall. That is sad times for him.
Oh, Lemon's just gone deep down the corner and nudging into the side there of Camille. And Camille's had to take evasive action. We'll have to give the place back, but Lemon should technically give the place back to Camille because he forced him off track, and he's not done so.
Ooh.
Oh, did you just get a shunt as well from Frankie Pie? He just went very deep into the corner. I don't think he's working well for Camille this lap. He's just lost 2 places on that corner. Alongside Frankie Pie as we go down the hill. Euless is lagging all over the place. They're going to go 2 by 2. Frankie Pie backs off and nearly backs into the wall. And he's lost the place to Stefanator. So, kick it off from one little incident between Camille and Lemon. As Beaker actually goes past Frankie Pie as well.
Yeah, look at that. Beaker on the medium tyres now. We said he was in prime position to do a strategy move, and he's pulled it off. Blue's lost control. He's lost it at the end. Is that Lecum? I believe it is.
Yep, that is Lecum.
So he got wing damage, right side. So definite damage there for Blue. He's going to be really finding it difficult on the left-handers. Unfortunately for him, he's about to come up to one with the poo on not so far away, and that's actually quite a high downforce area. So definitely coming into the pits. More than likely going to switch over to the hard compound.
Yeah, we'll see if that is going to be the right call. Just the ball with Camille at the moment. He's trying to size up Euless, but Euless is jittering. It's like he's got the jitterbug in front of him all over the place. And hopefully, when it comes to being overtaken, he's not going to cause any issues for the overtaker. Because just look at how much he's dancing. Yeah. Left, right, up, down. And he's... Wow, it's going to be quite a dangerous situation for Camille if he's going to try and overtake. But Camille sizes him up now into the bus stop chicane we go. He's going to look down the inside. He has a look. Camille, Euless left in space, but Camille can't make use of it. But on the exit, going to get the drive off, and it's actually alongside coming off the corner. towards the first corner. Who's going to be the last one to break? Camille turns in ahead, comfortably ahead.
Yep.
I'll actually benefit from possibly DRS from Lemon.
I need to keep an eye very quickly on the front runners because Borgzan right on the back of it, Nick, turn mode 4, and DRS is going to be available. This is going to be a change of race leader now, and that's a very simple overtake, but Zones might be in a similar position, although Copy has DRS, so he's able to defend a little bit more from Zones, but oh, that was very on the limit. He's lost the back end. You can see the problem that he was facing there as he came in a bit too hot into the corner, panicked a little bit when he saw Copy, and yes, he managed to avoid contact, but it did cause him to lose a bit of time, and now he's still sat around about half a second margin, so it's not like he lost the end of the world, but those tyres will have taken a fair bit of heat in them.
Yeah, Blue had to come in a bit fresh hard tyres then, and he's going to hope to avoid any more contact before the end of this race, because he can take those the whole way from this space out. Stefanator, Euless and Camille are still quite close together in the midfield pack. Camille's trying to cash back up to Lemon where he once was until bad incident. As Lemon's actually catching up to the front four and trying to get part of the mix.
Yeah. Oh no, Zones! Oh, okay. Zones just gets on the curb. Here comes Lemon. Oh, Lemon had to back off, but Lemon's coming through down the inside. He's not quite actually. He's got the slipstream though now. Zones has really lost out massively here. Just got a little bit too hot on the exit. That caused him to run wide. Lemon's looking for the inside into Blanchimont. He knows that situation. He's been there before. He knows you can't attempt too wide in that area of the track. He's blocked Camille quite nicely. Very, very last second decision there though, but a good DRS opportunity again on Zones. Bogdan setting the fastest lap. Zones is in real trouble now.
Yeah, Bolton had to set a fast lap. He's still got an turn right up his backside. He needs to break that 1 second window. Copy as well. He's on the tail-ish of any turn, so hopefully the two Mercedes will be able to get a double overtake shortly and move themselves up to a 1 and 2 position. I'll be well happy with that. Camille sizing up Lemon. Lemon's got DRS from Zones, but Camille is in such a good position. He's pulled out very early. Had to pull back in. And is anything going to happen here?
Oh, there was a bit of a touch there between Camille and Lemon. I think there's
touch.
definite damage. Was that Euless? No, it was definitely Camille then. He's lost right end plate.
Is it?
Yep.
Well, that just flew from behind him. That was interesting. But yeah, he's definitely got damage. Well, there was a nudge, but then it sort of flew as if he'd been hit from behind. But yeah, well, Camille damaged now. He's gonna. Well, what's he gonna do from this point? Oh, that's a Ferrari.
That's Zones.
Did he
Well,
get a
that's
nudge?
twice. He's having a lot of issues. I don't think there was a nudge. I think that was a mistake.
Oh,
I didn't
he's got
see
massive damage.
Yeah, I mean, he's lucky to be alive with the contact that he had with the wall. He is very lucky to still be in this race. That was a huge impact with the wall. I don't think there was a touch. I could be wrong, but that sent him off massively into the wall. He's already got Danny coming up to the back of him, looking for an opportunity to pass. Camille's out of the race.
Oh, big crash. He's only got 2 wheels left on that car.
Oh my lord, that's huge.
That should cause a safety car realistically.
I think that would be a red flag, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that would be a red flag medical car. Make sure he's okay. Zones is really struggling with that car now.
Probably an error.
He's got a bit of a gap with his teammate. And nothing of it. Unfortunately, he has left the session. Hopefully it's not going to mess Speaker up too much. But yeah, Zones is in. No surprise there. What else is happening? Other than people crashing.
There's a big battle going on for P5 that Euless is currently leading. It's from P5 right the way down to P10. Ray, who was P2, if you remember, at the beginning of this race, just didn't leave the start line at all. He was just sat there for ages, waiting and nothing happened. So very interesting that we're in that scenario.
He's going to go for it on Bika. He's looking down the inside. He's going for the late break. Nudging wheel to wheel, and Bika's had to take evasive action as a result. And yeah, so Bika losing out there to Ray. He's still got a fair distance back to Danny, so he's got that covered. He just needs to catch back up and pass Ray, but Ray is now lost out on Dearest the Bird for now. But I think all things can change in half a lap, especially on the longest track on the calendar.
Yep, longest in pretty much every sense of the word. The lap times are the longest, the track length is the longest, and the only way this isn't the longest is the overall race length, which I think is held by Singapore, which I'm sure you're about to correct me on. But
I've not looked that up, but I could, but it might take me a while.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure it is. But the thing I want to focus on is that... Oh! Well, Frankie Pie needs to focus. He's just lost a position as Bird slips down the inside due to a mistake mid. Gets a little bit too hot, runs a little bit too wide, and that cost him that position. But look at race leader. So Nick Turn was under attack earlier from Bulksan. I think it was lap 3 where we saw Nick Turn get passed by Bulksan. Now the shoe is on the other foot. As you can see, Nick Turn is now in the DRS. Has got the ERS to play around with, and you can see the differences. Look at the ERS differences. Bulksan 38% after the braking zone. Nick Turn 80% after the braking zone. Has got the slipstream. Has got DRS. Has got his ERS ready to go, and is using it right now. He just can't afford. But look at the skies. They've started to go grey. Are we going to see any rainfall?
I think we might. They are overcast now as the official weather forecast. 26 track, 18 air. It was clear at the beginning of the race. But Stefanes alongside Ulyss going to go round the outside here of Lecombe. Ulyss rides the curb. Stefanes has got the inside of the second part. Ooh, big tank slapper. Still not sorted out though. Oh, Ulyss just a little nudge there on Stefanes. And Stefanes lost 2. And Ulyss might lose one to Bird. Bird's had a great recovery, back up from disqualification up to 6th on those medium tyres. It's starting to work for him, and he's going to hope he can get past Ulyss in the coming laps.
Yep. He's doing really well. Bird is absolutely flying. He shouldn't be as fast as he is if you look at it from a tyre perspective. He should be a lot further down and just trying to battle with those back runners, but he's absolutely tearing it right now. And on the back of Ulyss, Ulyss has, like we said, had network issues, but currently looks pretty stable, and Bird is going to surely attack on the exit of this corner. There's no way that he's going to let Ulyss run away with this.
Sorry, I'm still looking up information.
That's fine. I will be keeping an eye on this Williams that's got to defend his life away. Although Bird isn't really actually attacking. He's got very little ERS in comparison to well, the rest of the world, or where I'd expect him to be. And Nick Turn's now taking race lead. There goes Ulyss into the pits. And also Frankie Pie is getting scrappy there with Bird, looking for an opportunity down the home straight in towards turn 1. They are going to be too wide, I believe, although he's ahead. But now Bird has the proper attack. So yes, Frankie Pie may be P4 right now, but Bird is on your rear, does have all of that slipstream, and DRS is not going to be in your favour, Frankie Pie. So you need to figure something out ASAP.
I have found the longest in the historical, but it doesn't have the longest of the calendar. The longest historical non-Indy 500, obviously, is the 1951.
Bird's gone down the inside of Frankie Pie. He's got a bit deep. Frankie Pie's coming back at him. He's on the curb, actually. Ray's managed to make a move on Stefanera as well. Frankie Pie is recovering and getting his position back again. He's just ahead of Bird. Bird's looking for the inside into, I believe, Ravage. That's a mistake made from Ray. Couldn't quite capitalise. A little bit of nudge there from Stefanera as well. I think he's got wing damage. Nope, he's all good. It might be Ray then that has wing damage, but right now, it's all staying pretty good. Frankie Pie held on to P4. Bird ran too deep. Stefanera loses the position to Ray, even though he ran deep. And, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, it's good battling up there. They're once again. Danico's actually pressuring Beaker as well for 8th and 9th as Beaker trying to pull these lot in front of him so he can battle with them. He's going to struggle, though, with those medium tyres. The next few laps are going to be crucial for Beaker. If those softs drop off while they've just started a lap, Beaker's got a chance of closing right up to them, and he's only 4.4 seconds off the back end of them. As there was a change race lead, but it's because Anytone's pitted.
Yeah, but now I'm intrigued to see what he goes for. I mean, the sky's looking a little bit grey. Don't see any signs of rain. But isn't Nick Turn going to take the mediums, or is he going to? Oh, he's got mediums. He's definitely got mediums. All right. So he's chosen. This is the opportunity to pit. This is also the opportunity to take these to the end, which means those on the hards have really, really put themselves in a bit of a predicament, really. They are not going to be anywhere near as fast. They're still dead last, and even though the long game may work out for them to get in a few places, I don't think they'll get themselves back into the points. Although Beaker has been giving us a little saving grace there. And Nick Turn is separating the two. Danny is going to try and utilise the DRS from it, Nick Turn, as much as possible. But ultimately, he might be running a bit too deep. Frankie Pie and Bird swapping places.
Yeah, so Danny made a mistake at Radian. Will not be attacking Enton just yet. But Enton's now pressuring big. Enton's gone for softs to mediums. Does that indicate rain? Everyone's going soft to mediums as well.
Soft to mediums is definitely a doable strategy here. It's
from this distance.
A bit hard. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, realistically, you're only looking at sort of 14 laps on the mediums, if you think about it. Majority of the actual track is flat out. You're not really putting that much pressure through your tires. So, yeah, soft to mediums are very much an easy strategy to do here. But the thing you got to worry about is as your tire wear starts to kick in, when you come to areas like Pouhon and Blanchimont and the hard braking zones, they're going to be the areas where you will fall apart if you don't manage your tires correctly. And so you got to keep very firm eyes locked onto your tires. You can't afford to lose them.
I'm still trying to find out the longest race distance, but the only thing I've got so far is the 1951 French Grand Prix was the longest, which isn't much help.
Well, I guess we'll worry about that in a little while. Ray's come in, so is Stefanator. Ray is the first of the Mercedes to come in. Bulksan also came in as well this lap, so Nick Turn, who's coming down the home straight now, Beaker, who started on the mediums, will be in a really good position when he comes to the end of it. He's already up in a P4. He's got a Nick Turn on the back of him. I'm looking for Bulksan. Bulksan has just come out of the pits. Here they are, the race leaders, and a Nick Turn will take it. He's also benefited from the fact, I think, a Nick Turn will have DRS. I think Bulksan has just clipped it there because that was under the banner where you get it. But look at Nick Turn already sizing Beaker up. There's the wing being activated. Beaker's just going to be a sitting duck. Is Bulksan going to be able to capitalise in time? He's not. So now, Nick Turn's been given a little bit of a lifeline there with the fact that Beaker's in the way.
Yeah, and that is really going to help him. He just needs to start pulling it out. And, well, he's got a 4-second gap after Frankie Pie. If he can get outside the 1 second of Beaker, be quite happy with that. And as long as Bulksan doesn't get past Beaker before it gets to the DRS zone, then it will be quite interesting to see how they do. Obviously, Beaker will defend. He's in his own rights to defend. He wants to keep Bulksan behind.
Yeah.
And that might allow Danny Cove to have a little shot at Bulksan. And that could mess things up a little bit for them, but
I think Bulksan is just going to bide his time and actually take this opportunity whilst he's stuck behind Beaker, because ultimately he can't attack. Unless Beaker makes a mistake, he can't really attack here. But the problem Bulksan's got, in comparison to a Nick Turn, is ERS. If you look at the difference between the two, a Nick Turn is just under 70%. He's obviously just deploying a fair bit now. Whereas Bulksan is in the 20s, and that was again after the braking zone. He was in the high 20s. He's now deploying a fair bit to try and help protect himself from Danny, like you said, but also to make sure he stays within DRS range of Beaker, who is now out of DRS range on that Nick Turn.
Yep, so Lemon has come in the pits. Where's he going to come out? He's going to come out a fair distance back. He's coming down the pit lane. He's going to come out behind Copy. Frankie Pie's going to go through. Is he going to come out? He should come out ahead of Euless. Oh, no, he's got Euless. Euless hasn't even... Where is he? There he is. Euless is just coming around the first corner now, so he has come out ahead of that. So he's 4 seconds off the back of Copy. He'll try and close that up over the course of this next couple of laps, especially while Copy's in traffic. That's given a great chance for Lemon to catch up.
Oh, Bulksan's going. Into Lakeum they come, too wide. In fact, on the first, there's a little bit of a nudge there from Bulksan into Beaker. Beaker's been sent a little bit off course there, and that's almost allowed an opportunity for Danny to come through. And again, another battle. Bulksan gets caught out again. Beaker's still safe, still ahead, still defending. But at the same time, Copy slips on by, says, thank you, that's P5. I didn't even see him get involved in this mix. He just suddenly a McLaren appeared, and now he's already looking for an opportunity. And bear in mind, this is a battle for P2. Bulksan and Copy are actually scrapping for that P2 position. We could see a McLaren 1-2 here.
We could. I won't count it out just yet. Lemon's now 3.3 seconds, 3.2 seconds. He's closing right up. He's gained over a second on this lap since coming out, and it's not even finished yet. So time is dropping.
Yeah.
I think they got to worry about Lemon. If he can catch up before they get past Beaker, Lemon's in a shot here for a podium, if not second step.
Copy's coming at him. Here he comes into Blanchimont. We saw what happened earlier when they tried this too wide. Copy knows as well that is not a doable situation. It's so difficult for you to try and pull off an overtake there. But on top of that, it doesn't really benefit you too well even if you do succeed, because you will actually lose the DRS to the car in front based on the fact that you will be scrapping and losing a lot of time. And realistically, right now, if they want to be in a chance with catching at Nick Turn, then they have to rely on Beaker's DRS.
Yeah, hopefully Bulksan will get past Beaker this lap, and Copy will. Copy's probably not going to get past Beaker unless it is the mightiest of drives off Radian for him. Just looks too far back. Boltzan is relatively far back as well. He might be copy getting past Boltzan actually. Looking at
this. Now he's going down the inside in towards Lakum again. Too wide. One more time. Beautiful overtake there from Copy.
Simple.
Nicely done into P2. He needs to stay close to the back of Beaker. He's got 6/10 gap currently, which does allow him to have DRS, which is great. Not that we're going to see it at least until the home straight, but still, this is perfect for Copy now to help him keep himself in that P2 run-in. But 3.8 seconds between Beaker and a nick turn means if Copy gets past Beaker, he has to pray that Boltzan doesn't attempt an overtake.
Yeah, keep an eye still though on Lemon. He's now 1.8 seconds off the back of these lot, and he is coming. He's going quick out there. He's was a bit slow in the first section, but this second section is looking rapid. I'll get a split for you, hopefully in a moment once they start coming in. Just for reference, Enerturn did a 47.56 as Blues retired in sector 3. Could be a pit lane retirement, or is he too busy laughing again?
I think it might be the exact same corner. I don't see the yellow flags though, so maybe not.
Pit lane.
Is it pit lane? Yeah, it's pit lane.
Yeah.
So frustration then.
Enerturn 47.5, Lemon 47.1. He is faster than everyone in front of him. And that is why he's now right up on the back of Danico, right on the edge of DRS. He might have it on the Kemmel Straight if you can just nail this corner here. And hope Danico makes a tiniest mistake. He's right there, look at that. Inside the 1 second now. Is there going to be a slow blue though on the track?
Yeah, there is.
There is.
He's actually, one sec, Copy on Beaker now. This is for P3. This is what Boltzan couldn't do earlier, and Copy just makes it look very simple, very easy. Up into P3 now. Beaker has got
just lost. Just lost to Danico.
Yeah.
Did he lift off for that incident and put him off? Because Lemon dropped back a hell of a distance there as well. Lemon did a 30.9 compared to Danico's 30.2. So that kind of explains that they had to back out a little bit.
So Ray, big lock up. That was the penalty that I was talking about earlier. So there's actually an opportunity here. We're still looking like we're going to see a McLaren 1-2, but if Copy maintains pace, he may actually start to bring that gap down between him and a nick turn. And if a nick turn gets one more penalty, Copy will actually jump him, this is a big deal because Copy, in terms of his teammate, yes, they're really good friends, and yes, they've been teammates for a long time, and they work really well together. It's almost always been the other way around.
I'll keep your eyes on Bassel behind. Oh, look at that. Lemon has gone round the outside there of Danico. That was a beautiful opportunistic overtake. Boltzan got through as well. I think Danico's just struggling a little bit. And Lemon has got past, and he's going to be up on the back of Boltzan as Bird finally pits then from the race lead. He's done well to get up to there. Started at the back.
Oh, Boltzan's in.
Boltzan?
What? Boltzan's in?
Must have damage.
Where the? How the?
Did he nudge Danico? Because Danico got back past him.
Back onto softs.
Damage.
Oh, he does, yeah. Left end plate. That's gone. Ah, that's a shame.
Heartbreaking.
I mean, that would explain his sudden drop of pace. I can only assume he got that when he was battling with Beaker. But, I mean, ultimately, I didn't see enough to work it out. But Bird has come out in P7, so this is huge. He's on softs, remember, and he had insane pace on the mediums anyway. But now he's got an opportunity to get up to the back of Eulis. 5 seconds is the gap. Then there's only 2.5 second gap in front of him and Danny. And Danny's not really going to be doing much more, given the fact that he's on mediums 12 laps in. He'll be soon pitting, along with Beaker, who's also currently P3. So ultimately, Bird has a really good chance of finishing P4 here today.
Yeah, he's doing all right at the moment. He's just got to turn the wick up. 2 guys in front of him will be stopping, so he'll get promoted up. It's just, first of all, can he make those tyres last till the end, and how their state going to be at the end? And can he catch up to Eulis? I think the answer to the second one is yes. The answer to the first one is, it depends how he's going to drive.
Yeah. Exactly. So currently race leader is at Nick Turn, and he has actually worked a little bit more of a gap to his teammate. It was 4.4 when I last mentioned it about a lap and a bit ago. It's now 4.8, almost 4.9. So good stuff from at Nick Turn to help sort of mitigate his issues with the penalty. But there is a nice little battle going on for P7, although it's about to be shut down. It's going to be a battle for P8, as is 8 tends to be in the gap currently to him and Frankie Pie. Frankie Pie is being chased down by Ray, and Stephanie is right on the back of this too. Zones has had a really bad race today.
Yeah, it's not his day. Beaker's finally pit then. Where will he come out? He might come out in the same sort of position as Zones. And so is Danny Kay. They're both pitting. So we are now effectively all in the right place.
Yep.
Once they've come out their pits. Let's have a look. Let's see where Beaker's going. Can't catch one of these.
Oh, he's got out ahead of Danny again.
That was very, very close. And that could have been quite costly if he got a little delay there.
Yeah.
He's coming out ahead of Boltzan then by a little bit. Boltzan's coming around the final corner. Danico's actually just ahead of Boltzan as well. So these two were battling. They're now going to resume battling once again.
So Beaker 4.7 seconds behind Zones. Bear in mind Zones has not actually been doing particularly great, and Beaker's now on the softest compound. So he already gained a position based on the strategy he pulled off. Now Boltzan's on the back of Danny. Oh, that was very close. He left out till the very last second, but he's now got the position done. And it's going to be a nice smooth run from here on out. Boltzan, we need to see the fire from you. We know we know you are fast, but we need to see that and absolutely deliver here today. Zone's getting a 3-second penalty. I think that might be a second, actually, which would mean he would be already behind Beaker already, which is good for Beaker, bad for Zones, and great news for Stephanie and Ray and Frankie Pie, who are just ahead, along with Bird.
Would you like a penalty rundown?
I would love a penalty rundown.
It's not a lot to go through, but the crucial one currently, although it may not make any difference, Ellington has a 3-second. Then there's nothing until you get to Zones, who's on 6. Nothing for Beaker and Boltzan. Danny Coe's got 3, along with Dennis and Galaxy.
Nice.
Galaxy or Galaxy?
I think it's Galaxy. There's no L.
No, but it looked like Galaxy, so I went with Galaxy.
Yeah.
Boltzan is about to go for fastest lap, by the way. He's purple in sector 1 and 2. He's got to beat... Oh, Bird wants to say, I want that first. And Boltzan, I suspect, will have it here. Depends how he does on the final corner.
So keep a firm eye as well for P6. So Frankie Pie has now lost the 1-second margin to Bird, and that was, is that 2 seconds improvement in comparison to Bird? Bird just did a 1.46 something, and then
1.69.
And then Boltzan just went slap 144 immediately. Ray though, coming into the back of Frankie Pie. Look at the pace he's carrying right now. That's a very simple overtake. Frankie Pie will just get caught out. Oh, he's trying to defend into Lacoum. It's very tight, very close, but just still loses out. He's actually right there still, waiting for Ray to make a mistake. If he does, which he... Oh, if he'd have been on the gravel a little bit more, sending it into... Oh, that was close. Ray's gone wide. Here comes Frankie Pie in the inside. Again, a little bit of a touch, a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of a mare. And Stephanie is just watching this from the back line saying, please, one of you just make a mistake. I'll gain both your positions. I ain't got a problem with that. But no, neither of them make any mistakes. And Stephanie will just stay in P8 for now. Frankie Pie will lose that position. And Ray is now released, looking to close in on Bird.
Same age tyres though, Bird is on soft, so it's not going to be easy for Ray to close that gap. As we're on 15 of 22, so over the halfway point by a few laps, and now starting to... Race is starting to settle down a bit. We've still got this battle going on for 6th, 7th, 8th, and I was going to say 9th, but Zones has just dropped back 2 seconds, and he's looking like he's having some issues. He's just pulled over to the side of the road. I think he's about to retire.
Yeah, I think
Why
he might
can't
be
he
as
go back
well.
to the pits from there?
Yep, that's it. He's done. Is that enough? That'll be the end of Zones' race then here today. It's been a nightmare for him, to be truthfully honest. But it's not like him.
Yeah, that's very unusual to retire on track when you're so close to the pit lane. Which all people are against. Because he can cause a safety car. If that's caused a safety car, he's going to get, or potentially going to get hit with a nice little penalty. But...
No safety car.
Galaxy just gave the wall a little kiss. And, well, Galaxy has no front right wing, so that's why he's struggling. But still in the race. He's going to get 13th as it stands. If a couple of people retire, Galaxy's in with points. And same with Dennis, who's not really had a great race either. He's 19 seconds off back of Danico. Who knows what can happen? If people battling crash each other out, then points can be given to those who are apparently not inside the top 10, and just stay in the race, you never know what you get.
Yeah, it's true. I'm keeping an eye on Stefan here because he's done a really good job of just sitting on the back of Frankie Pie, and ultimately that position could very easily go to Stefan here. It's a nice P7, good points position regardless, and you don't want to affect the little pattern that's going on though in the pink yellow. But I mean, you got to get some points, haven't you? You can't afford to not. The one thing I am really enjoying the sight of, and I wish we could replicate this into official F1, is the 1-2 for McLaren. That is something that would just be a dream come true to watch again. But in Nick turn, remember, he has that 3-second time penalty. He's got his teammate actually following him along, but it's not going to be enough unless Nick turn gets one more penalty. But at the rate that the copy is currently going, he will still lose out overall.
Yeah.
Because he's losing time to Nick turn.
Yeah, Nick turn pulled out 3/10 on that last lap, so that gap's just going and going and going. And even if he gets another penalty now, I don't think even copy will close up at all. And so Nick turn is looking pretty out front. Lemon is he closed up 2/10 on that last lap. If you can close up another 2/10 for the rest of the race, he's got a chance of being in the DRS in the last lap. So if he can up his game, especially with those 3-lap fresher tyres, that could be crucial for Lemon. I'm not ruling him out yet of being P2s.
Yeah, it's possible. It is very possible. He is flying, and if Copy makes a mistake, which is possible as well, then he will very much easily lap that position up. 2 seconds currently, 3 laps fresher. Everything's all good for Lemon. The only thing he's missing is the aid, so he can make lemonade, and that would be great on P2.
Hey.
But I mean, we don't want Lemon to get P2 just so we can have the McLaren 1-2. That's it. No other reason.
Oh, Frankie Pie's made a mistake. Stefanis is going to go past. What happened to Frankie Pie there? He just looked like he oversteered off the corner. Not typical when you hear oversteers and he actually lit out the rears. He just actually kept turning for too long. He's recovered. He's still ahead of Stefanis, but Stefanis is right up on his rear. And Frankie Pie's going to be feeling the pressure of that Renault. It's closing in.
More than just the pressure. Here he comes. Look at him. He's actually had to ease off just to make sure he didn't go into him towards Blanchimont. He's got the move ready. Frankie Pie is defending very cleanly. No mistakes made so far by either driver. Big mistake there from Gaxi. That's actually caused him to run wide into the bus stop chicane. And now, back end kick out for Stefanator. Very eager to get on the throttle. Very eager to get the pass done there and then. But, I mean, it's just too early, too soon.
Yeah, and actually, Frankie Pie might get DRS here off the back of Gaxi, which could save him from losing a place. I mean, Stefanator's helped him out by having that tank slapper off the final corner, but has Frankie Pie? No, Frankie Pie doesn't have DRS, so Stefanator close enough. He'll probably go for a send it. 4/10.
It'll be a hell of a send. Oh, yeah. No, he's backed out.
I mean, I don't think even Raw Mail accepts sends that big.
Nah. Even if you first class stamped it, that is not going to be an opportunity for you to overtake. But Steph is going to be bringing himself closer and closer to the back of the racing point. And I think ultimately we need to make sure that Frankie Pie keeps an eye on those mirrors, does not repeat the same mistake he made last lap, because this is the few corners he did it on after Pouon, and then he lost control. Keep it together, and he's still going all right.
Yep. Lemon in the meantime, 1.5 seconds is the gap up there. He's looking good, like he's going to reel Copy in. I do want to say it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass, but this is Belgium.
Yeah.
It's not like that in the slightest. It's not. That's not going to cost too much, unfortunately. For him, that might cost a point, though, if Danny Coe can up his game. But Danny Coe's got his own penalty to worry about, so never mind. That's going to help Beaker get a point here, or 2 points here today, that's all.
Yep. Alright, Lemon, 1.2 on the back. Might have actually just brought it down to just under. He's 1.1. It's not going to be enough, I don't think, unless he's got mode 5 to get over to it. Oh, it's so close. Has he done it? I don't know. I mean, he's now under the 1 second, but I think he was still outside of it as he came to it. Does he have DRS? No, he does not. So, not this lap, but maybe the next. But here will come Stefan here, then one more time on Frankie Pie. We do have 3 laps remaining if you include this one that they're on right now, and Frankie Pie is going to be feeling it. He's made a mistake.
Wobble.
Yeah, he did not hold that well through Radion, and here he comes. Stefanair this time smells blood, smells gear changes, smells P7, and into Lake Coombe they go. And there he goes. Stefaner up in a P7 now. Frankie right on the rear of him, though. Might look for an opportunity to pull it back. He's been feisty when it's come to these close battles, but on this occasion, there's just nothing Frankie can do. Stefaner has taken P7 and will keep it at least for a while longer. I think he might actually now start pushing and get on the DRS of the car ahead, and that's Ray. That's not that far ahead of him either. So only 2 seconds between them. There is also a Gaxi in between them as well.
Gaxi is ghosting though because he's a lapper, or being lapped, which does really help you out. That change came into the game not that long ago, but Bird's inside DRS of Euless. So we could see a couple of overtakes on this lap. Lemon is close to copy, really close, less than half tenths, less than 4 tenths now. He's in the slipstream, he's looking. He's not going to go from this far back, that's for sure. No, he's not. That's good.
It'd be very ambitious for you to send it there. I mean, even now, even though he's on the home straight, again, sit in mode for 0, he knows it. He knows this is not... I mean, realistically, the chance of him getting P1, non-existent. So you stay here in P3, hold on to your 0 ERS, and then out of this corner, this is where you knock it up a little bit. You go to about mode 2. Are we going to see him change it up? No, he's actually decided to stay mode 0 for now. You might see...
He's waiting for the last lap.
I think he's waiting. Oh, there we go. Now he's turned it up. So now, as we're coming through Eau Rouge Radion, nice and cleanly, get the slipstream, but he's gone back to mode 0. Yeah. I think he's happy to stay where he is. I think he doesn't want the chopping and changing so much.
Yeah, he's not really pushing. What about Bird? Is he pushing? Oh, Gaxi, 5 second penalty for ignoring a blue flag. That's unfortunate.
Oh, there he is.
But through goes Bird. Euless isn't giving up though.
Oh no!
Face the wrong way.
And there goes Ray. And there goes Steph. And here comes Frankie Pie. Frankie Pie is going to be past him. Yes, and here comes Beaker as well. This is big for Beaker because it was Bird and Beaker that were actually scrapping for the position. We've seen these battles before. We know how these have panned out in the past. Let's see if it continues or not. I don't know it will. Oh, big wobble there from Bird. His tyres are just a little bit too hot. Beaker's lost control of his rear there, but he's caught it just about enough. Didn't quite go into the wall. Nearly did though, but poo on. Here it is. I think Gaxi's still... Oh, Gaxi's gone.
Gaxi's gone in sector 2. Where's that?
That's after poo on. He's just buried it over on the wall on the right side. So I don't know if he just had a mistake, pushed himself a little bit too far, but I mean, he's only 3 laps in on the soft, so there's definitely no puncture. Just purely a driving mistake.
Unfortunate for Gaxi. 13th wasn't going to get a point as it stands, but to finish the race sometimes is half the battle. Especially if your name is Dennis. He's down there in 12th. He's not had a very good day once again. He'll just be happy to get this race finished with, won't he?
Yeah, exactly. The one thing I'm keeping an eye on is the current situation between Copy and Lemon. Copy's on 100% ERS. Lemon is pretty much there as well. But he has the advantage of toe and slipstream. He's now using mode 4 to bring himself closer. Is he going to attack this lap? If he attacks this lap, which I mean, look at him. He's got it. Look at the pace. He's chucking down. Copy's going to be on the outside. Here comes Lemon. That's P2 for you, sir. But now Copy has everything in his favour now. Everything should work out right for Copy as long as he doesn't make a mistake and doesn't go sparing on his ERS usage. He's got enough to be able to run mode 5 from this moment forward and take him all the way to the end of this race. But he doesn't want to do that. He needs to make sure that when we come to the Camel Straight again, he has DRS to attack and has the gap.
Are we going to see the cheeky let through by Lemon? Everyone knows I hate it. You know I hate it so much. I speak about it with passion every time we're in a race like this. What do you reckon?
It depends on the gap that Copy has to Lemon. Entirely depends on how close he is to Lemon. If he's about 4 tenths behind him when we come towards turn 1, Lemon's definitely letting him past.
Look at the gap. He's not letting anything go, is he? Lemon is just powering down mode 4 everywhere. Lemon can't keep up.
I mean, Copy. Well, Copy's the one who's trying to catch up, but it's mainly because Copy just kind of relaxed a little bit too much. I don't think he expected Lemon to just bullet away, but I mean, it's worked out for Copy anyway. He's actually still managed to gain, I think, 20% ERS more than him anyway. Yes, he does. Not that it's going to matter too much, except it might do later. That's the area that matters. Bird coming on towards the back of Frankie Pie again. In towards bus stop chicane. It's going to be a tight one to take. You're going to have the inside for the first, but you're going to have the outside for the second, and that's going to benefit Frankie Pie. And that's why Bird has backed off to make sure that he's flapping his wings, chasing after him on the home straight. Beaker might actually get involved in this as well, but we need to go back up for P2. Copy has made a little bit of a boo-boo. He's a little bit too far back. Is this going to be a move that's going to be haunting him for a while. Lemon is shaking the slipstream. Here he comes, chasing him down. It's not going to be enough.
No, but he's got one more overtaking opportunity into the bus stop, assuming Lemon doesn't make any mistakes. Bus stop chicane is your last chance. Hurrah! As Bird and Frankie Pie swap places for 7th and 8th. Beaker is just off the back of his teammate. And Bird managed to get himself back up to 7th place, so he's not going to be back to where he once was, but he'll be getting some more points. He'll be happy with that part. Assuming he doesn't lock up like that and let Frankie Pie down the inside, which doesn't happen.
But that was an opportunity though. Bird's going to have a really tight line through there. And again, Frankie Pie, I mean, he's struggled through Poo on anyway. But now he's in a scenario where he could actually just slingshot around him if he does it right. Depends if Bird has a mistake or not. No, he's kept that nice and tidy. Beaker definitely had a mistake there. Did not keep that nice and tidy. And Nick Turn coming through Blanchimont now. He has done a very good job of holding this race together. And it's 10.5 second gap between him and Lemon. So that's going to stay like that at least for now. And I'm looking at where Copy is, because this is ultimately where it's going to be. And Nick Turn will take the win. That's almost guaranteed, as Lemon is coming up to the bus stop chicane. Copy is not quite close enough to be able to make a move. It's going to be all about the acceleration out of the corner, but Lemon has done everything cleanly, and he has really climbed 5 places to take P2. Copy will finish P3. Eulis, who's done really well considering everything, he's brought himself to take P4. Ray crossing the line will take P5, but then he snatches it. Eulis has got a penalty. Brings Ray into P4. Stephanie takes P6. Bird takes P7. Frankie Pie takes P8. Bird takes P9. Danny takes 10th, but loses it to Bulksan. And Dennis will finish soon enough in P12.
I'm not sure about that Eulis part. My screen has no penalties to his name.
How's Eulis lost place then?
Your guess is as good as mine. Well, your guess is pretty much the same as mine. There's a reason why it's the same.
I am lost for words.
It's happened a lot recently. I've seen it happen. People lose places for no reason whatsoever. They get extra penalties and lose places. Race director will be Eulis's friend here.
He's had one penalty. One warning. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He's only had one warning. The entire race, he had one warning.
That's actually quite impressive.
Wow. Interesting. So drama on the in the scenes of Spa. That's a P4 that's been snatched away there. But I mean, regardless of that, look at the McLarens. They're a double podium for them, but it is a Mercedes that separates them. It is Lemon who drove really well to get himself onto the podium, and in a scenario where he had to play it just right, and he timed everything to perfection. He managed to get himself just past Copy on the right lap, was able to then build that gap nice enough, caught Copy off guard, and just pulled away a nice enough gap where Copy could not retaliate. But here are your results at the end of that Grand Prix. Copy and Nick Turn will take the win with Lemon there in P2, Copy in P3, and whilst Ray is P4, Eulis will actually take that. But yeah, we think he'll take that position. On our screen, he passed across the line first and then lost it afterwards. But we shall see. Stephanie takes P6, Bird takes P7, Frankie Pie taking P8 with Beaker in 9th, and Bulksan getting the final point. Best of the rest award goes to Danny, and then it's Dennis as the only other remaining finisher, as we lost Gaxi, Zones, Blue, Camille, and Schwalbe. And Schwalbe crashed out in spectacular style. But that is it for World Championship Racing Grand Prix. I've been Ben Ragan McConnell, and you've been Jamie Elder. Thank you as always, Jamie. You are awesome. Thank you for commentating with me. In the WCR, we'll be back next week in Hungary. No, that was the race before this.
Yeah, that was
next
last week.
Is Italy.
Yes!
Nailed it.